since we had our courts built in 2018, that was a real attractant for people to have dedicated pickleball courts, 12 dedicated pickleball courts to play in. So from a marketing or strategy, we haven't really had to do a lot. It's been organic growth.
As time went on, now it's gotten more competitive, more players. The whole thing just grew. Yeah.
We haven't actually had to really try to attract people to come and play pickleball. I think for Vernon especially, there's a pretty high number of retirees in Vernon, and a lot of people have been exposed to pickleball if they've gone south and throughout the winters, whether they're in Arizona, California, Mexico. Pickleball was being played there before it came to Vernon. And so a lot of people just were very happy that it was going to start up in Vernon. And it actually did start in Vernon before the courts were built, and we were playing at Priest Valley Gym, some of the schools in the evenings, and then at Sewickley during the summers. So we were playing in different locations, but it was pretty limited with the number of people that could play.
The membership growth has been huge. It's been 300, 400, 500, 600, and currently today, our membership numbers are at 1,200 people with 600 people on a wait list. We're trying to get you in. We'll see what we can do.
Definitely, it's been in the past couple of years for younger players starting to play. When you look at the players who are now turning professional, these are players in their 20s and 30s. And in Vernon as well, if you come to any of our tournaments, the people that are playing the high level in the tournaments, these are people in their 20s and 30s. So even younger than that, it is actually being taught in the school. Vernon School Board has been bringing kids in from their PE program for the past couple of years. So it's being taught in the schools. And then as people get a little bit older too, they start playing more, and the competitiveness of the game is just way up there now. I think it's going to start getting younger with the number of people getting into more competitive play. Chayton from our club is a good example of that.
I think pickleball is one of the only sports where that's really an option, where you can have people that are in their 60s playing with someone that's a lot younger. There's not many other sports that you can find that you actually can have something like that.
Well, it's a nice game, I found. It's not too difficult for beginners. If I remember when tennis with a racket, serving was pretty hard to get used to, and it was tough. With the pickleball and the paddle, you're just hitting over a net, and you can really catch on quite quickly. And it's good from that point of view, That's what appeals to me and appeals to me today. It's a nice, simple sport. You're active the whole time, but you're not overly active. You don't, sink to your knees. I celebrated my 50th birthday running a marathon, and my 70th by getting my scuba certificate. So I'm pretty active. But there's a limit to what I can do now, and that just suits very nicely.
Pickleball really appeals to men, women, boys, girls, teenagers, people of almost any age and ability can play. And that's because it's pretty easy to learn, but it's hard to master. So you can play recreationally or you can play competitively. And what the Vernon Pickleball Association has for its membership are scheduled play sessions. And so you can join the play session that appeals to you. So it doesn't really matter what age you are. It really kind of goes more by what ability or how you want to play. Do you want to be a recreational player and just have fun with your pals? Or do you want to be a little more competitive and get into round robins? Or do you want to go competitive and really get into playing in tournaments? So I think we really market things more to the membership depending on what they want. So do they want competitive sessions? Do they want recreation sessions? And then it's any age group can come and play. So when I play, I might be playing with somebody who's in their 70s or in their 30s. I play with 3 men or I play with all women. Like it doesn't matter. You play with whoever shows up and wants to play, really.
I first got into pickleball when my grandparents introduced me to this sport. So my mom's mom, and then I played with them for 1 or 2 times. And then I asked my dad, I got him to play. He had been asked by a couple people to play before, but finally got into it when I asked him to. And then, yeah, we just played a lot from there.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people ask if I introduced Chayton to pickleball, but it was the other way around, actually. He started playing with his grandparents on his mother's side, and I'd said no to playing pickleball for years when friends had asked me if I wanted to play, and just busy lifestyle and whatnot. And I played a lot of softball, so that was my sport. And it's impossible to say no to your son when he asks you to do something. So tried it, and I think like so many people in the sport, you just get hooked after the first time you play it. We started right when COVID had hit, so it was the one thing that you were still allowed to play, and we loved it. It was a great outlet, and we played with a few other families, and they all had kids, and we got together and played and had a great time. And we created a little unit and played during the first little bit of COVID together. And after that, it was great. We looked forward to the first tournament when the tournaments started up again, and we went into that and had a great time, and we were hooked with the tournament play as well. Yeah, he's always been competitive. Since he was 5 years old, he was playing baseball, and he's gone to the provincials a couple of times. And he's always had competitive juices flowing in his body. And that's one thing we share in common. And, from the very early years, whether it be games we were playing, cards or things like that, he's always pushed himself to do the best he can do. And he loves when he beats an adult at a card game just as much as he loves when he beats an adult at pickleball. And I'm the same. I love going out there and being able to beat anybody that we're competing against. And most of all, for me, it's just trying to put the best pickleball game that I can play on the court. And that's my biggest challenge every single day.
My parents, they go down south in the winter, so they came back with the game and of course wanted all of us kids to play. That's how I got started. And then to play more competitively, I actually went to a tournament that was here, and it just totally intrigued me, and I wanted to play more. So I certainly didn't start off with that interest. My parents, they just always wanted to play, and when we did play, my mom would always say, okay, who's playing the next game? Okay, who's playing the next game? And I'm like, Mom, why do we have to play this for so long? I wasn't so interested, but yeah, after that tournament, I was all in. And my oldest sister, she also goes down south all winter, so, that's what she did. And she would come back and she would be the most, interested in playing, regularly. And then my other sister and I, started playing more and more, and we got a little more addicted to the sport as well. And then as we started playing, then our kids also started playing. And my oldest daughter plays regularly and is competitive. And my son, who's my youngest, he also started playing and, played on a regular basis. And then with just all of the sports that he plays, there just doesn't seem to be enough time. But everyone plays when we get together for family events.
Well, my husband and I were on a cruise, believe it or not, and we met someone who played pickleball. He was at our dinner table and he decided that, oh, you have to learn to play too. So he took us up, I guess it was the next day, and we had a lesson and we played a couple of games and it was lots of fun. Then when we got home, it was close to my birthday, so our kids gave us pickleball paddles for my birthday. And that was the best present ever because then we started to play. I guess just the excitement and fun that we saw with people playing. And it took us a while to get into the club because they already had a wait list. So then we realized we had to take lessons too before we could join. But finally everything came about.
I retired and I wanted something to do rather than a real, physical sport where I'd hurt myself all the time, like, maybe crazy downhill or water skiing or something like that. So this just fit right in.
I really enjoy the competitive aspect of pickleball. It's really fun to practice and then use the skills that I learned to play in tournaments. And I think it's great that we can both share that competitive spirit for the sport. When we first got into it, there was a big gap. He was a lot better because he had tennis background, but then as I got older, we both started to play at similar levels, so we were both able to compete and have a lot of fun in tournaments together.
I used to love playing baseball and he loved playing baseball, but we can't compete in baseball together. There's no way I can, hit a 60, 70 mile an hour fastball like he can or things like that. But in pickleball, we can actually compete across the net from each other. We can be on the same team. I think he actually probably gets more pleasure in body bagging me, being across the other side of the net than playing with me. Being able to compete with or against, that's something you can't do in any other sport. And it's what makes pickleball unique for me. In a lot of sports, they really talk about, like, I'll date myself here, Gordie Howe playing with his sons in hockey. And it's such a rare situation in any other sport. But we've seen it in this sport, in other places that we go. There's other father-son teams out there and things like that. And it's really fun to play against another father-son. I mean, we actually, in one tournament, we're playing against a father and son team, and the son was almost 60 like myself, and his dad was 80. And that was a very unique father-son combination, and his dad was amazing at 80 years old on the court. Some of the shots he was making, it was actually we did end up winning that tournament, but that was actually one of our toughest games. And how many sports can you say one of your toughest opponents is an 80-year-old when I think Chayton was 14 at the time? And it's just something unique and really special about this sport.
We don't play together on a regular basis. We all play on a regular basis, but it's often what we do when we have a big family gathering. So, our immediate family and all of our kids. And, for birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, that seems to be the activity. And then if we just, it's a weekend, and we all want to get together, that's often what we do. Now we just play for fun together. So there's not that issue. But in the beginning, when I started playing more, and my sisters were as well, I did play a season with each of my sisters, and I really enjoyed that. And of course, the more time you spend together, the closer you get and the more things you have to talk about. And then with my niece and, my oldest daughter, because I spend so much time at the court, if they're at the court, I'm going to see them more often. So, yeah. People recognize us as a family who plays pickleball. And that can spark conversations with some people that, I may not even have conversations with. So it kind of broadens that community. And then also, it brings that fun element where we celebrate each other's successes. So when we're at tournaments, you always know which court of Wilcox is on because there's quite a herd of us and we're known to be loud. So, it's like that community, outside of our family, but also within our family.
I have a grandson and a daughter and another grandson, and then perhaps another one that'll be playing soon too.
Basically just with our family members. Those would be the young ones. And in fact, I loved pickleball so much, I went out and bought a secondhand net so that we could play outdoors. I have a family in Ottawa and they come every summer, so we get to play outdoors then. And I have two granddaughters here, so the four granddaughters got to play together, and it was really good watching them enjoy the game.
I mean, frankly, my knees and my lower vertebrae have been shattered by osteoarthritis. So I just play recreational pickleball. And to cater to people who just want to do that, we have a program called Paddles Up, which means that you meet as a group and you put your paddle in a rack, and the first four play together and the second four play together. And when you finish the game, you come back, replace your paddle, and play with other people each time. And now most of those people I would describe as probably being senior, 60 and above, not my age, but senior. So I don't get that much opportunity to play with younger people. And I don't think they want to play with me because I'm probably too slow for them. But I must say that, you know, as you get older, things become more difficult, like memorizing people's faces and names. But I'd say at least once a week, somebody will come up to me in Vernon and say, "Oh, Peter." And I'll look at them blankly. And they'll say, "We play pickleball together," you know. So there must be a lot around. I don't know.
I play in a group called Co-ed Paddles Up. So you get a real variety of ages there and a variety of skills. So I have a lot of fun. And you have to sort of analyze each game separately because you don't know the strengths and weaknesses of all the players. So it's good for your head too. It makes you think. I guess pickleball to me is just so addictive, and I've grown to really love it. So I play 3 times a week, and that just keeps me energized. I like to go early in the morning because then I have a lot of energy for the rest of the day. It makes me feel so good.